do appreciate you all being here. What we will be talking about this afternoon, and I say we, there is myself. I'm a professor at Bronx Community College, and there are 4 students joining me, 3 of whom are at Bronx Community as we speak, and the 4th one is a senior at Hunter College who was a graduate of BCC and a current tutor at BCC. So I'm going to begin, and the first presenter is going to be Mr. Angel Calderon, just to give him a heads up. Guys, as you speak, just make sure that you do put on your mic and put on the video if you have. So just to set this, the new normal is kind of the theme of the conference, and the new normal was introduced to us, whether we liked it or not, a year ago, March. And our students all had to transition from maybe a partially remote, partially online hybrid setup to fully remote, synchronous or asynchronous. And they came at all different levels of preparation for that. And what I have gathered today, I hope, is a good representation of who those students are and kind of what they had to either continue with or walk into or walk back into. So since the best part of this presentation is 100% to students, I am going to ask Angel to start speaking. So Angel, whenever you are ready.
Hello, my name is Angel Calderon, and at my start of BCC, I ended off pretty bad, and my GPA was pretty bad, but that was in person. And then leaving BCC, I came back. I came back. I took a semester off, and then coming back to an online was a big change. It was really different. I can say I was in Dominican Republic at the time, having to deal with connection issues and everything that goes along with being an online, and playing baseball at the most at the same time as attending online school. So finding time was pretty hard. But online, I can say that it was a big change because you never really get to see the professor as much. Like seeing them through the computer and in person, you could really like tell a difference. Like the way they speak, and you know.
So a little bit more, Angel, if you would just talk about what it was like to be a student in person at BCC, then be off for a semester, and then come back and not be in person at all.
Um, Coming in it was like how I was in high school. Like I got to see the professor and everything, so it wasn't as big of a change until I took a semester off and coming back, and then coming to just strictly online was something I never thought I would have to experience. But COVID hit, and then I had to deal with all the challenges that come with speaking, all the challenges.
Okay.
I had to deal with all the challenges that come with being an online student.
Can you hit or highlight one or two of those real quick?
One I can say was, let me think. One challenge I can say was my schoolwork, like having like the interaction with the professor. Like it was harder to get in touch with the professor compared to in because online, you have to wait to email them, and sometimes, they take a little while to respond. But in person, you can just attack their question right away, and they'll respond.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to, hang out for a while, and I'm going to ask Catherine if she would present, and we can always come back and ask Angel questions if you guys like. So Catherine, up to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Lalu, and yes, I did went from fully in person to fully online. So the in person, it meant that I had to leave my house an hour and 15 minutes before class even started. So that means I had to walk all the way to the Metro North train station, get on the train, get off the train, get off the train, get on the BX12 bus, then onto the BX3 bus, just to make it on time for class. And then so basically, I was doing a lot of traveling. So moving forward, moving online was the best thing that ever happened to me. It was so great. It was so easy. Um, Being able to, wake up, shower, eat breakfast, especially breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Being able to eat breakfast, it just felt amazing. It just made me feel more motivated and make me want to do more. So, and the focus was big. Make me feel more motivated and focus on what my goal was rather than having to worry about if the train was going to be late or not. And then if the train is late, that means I'm going to be late for class. My first semester, which was fully in person, then it transitioned to online. It was okay because those I was a part-time student and I was taking two classes which I previously failed. Then when we got to online, I passed them. Then the summer came. That was my first summer class I ever took. I passed it. And then fall 2020 had came. I took six classes and I ended up with five A pluses and one A, which I'm really proud about. And that boosts my GPA up so high. After that, this is my last semester and I'm taking six classes, which all of them are currently at A's. Nothing was really tough for me because my time management was my best friend. Time management and what day I had like a agenda of what days I would do which work. And if I happen to finish more work that day, then hey, lucky for me. But yeah, being online saved my life. It saved my life and I loved it.
Okay. Um, I will say we definitely are going to come back and speak with you more, Catherine, because I'm going to say different than a lot of students in terms of reaction to online.
No
I
problem.
would thank you, and don't go away. And Jose Martinez, Jose, whenever you are ready, start talking, dude.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'll say unfortunately.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jose Martinez. I'm a BCC alumni. I graduated in 2018. I'm currently in Hunter College, and I'm set to graduate in the fall of this year. Um, I think online remote school, going to school remotely, it has its disadvantages and advantages. I think Catherine and Angel, they highlighted a lot of, of what I feel like we all share as students. But I feel like I don't know. I liked school remotely because of the, traveling and whatnot, those barriers. I feel like those, there's a problem, when you have to go to work and you have class at 1 o'clock and this and that, so that's kind of a good thing. I feel like in terms of time management, I was able to, spread my time out more. But it's also, has its disadvantages in that sense that you're easily distracted at home. There's so many distractions at home that you can just, oh, let me turn on the TV. And I think that there lies a problem. Professor, they the syllabus, they post the syllabus, what work you have to do. So when you actually have to go to class, you can watch TV as you're going to, or not really engaging, not really listening to what's going on. I feel like face to face, well, that's one of the things I had to adjust to, because face to face, I actually, I have like an understanding. It's more engaging face to face. Um, last week I think, or was it this week? I had to go on a trip. I'm taking a geography class in Hunter, and we had to actually go out on a trip, and it was just the energy was just, we haven't seen each other in like over a year. So seeing the professor, being able to see my classmates, that it was exciting. And it was more engaging. Everybody, we were in tune with what was going on. We went to the garment section in Lower East Manhattan, wherever it's located. Um, yeah, so I think it also because I have to do field work, so I think that also plays a role in how I'm gonna look at being a teacher. So I know some of my friends had to deal with this. They had to either deal with just doing online fieldwork, student teaching just online, not even being able to be in that classroom, not even being able to experience what being a teacher actually feels like. So I think working remotely or going to school remotely, it has its advantages and disadvantages, and it also depends on the person you are.
Okay. And I am going to come back to both Jose, who is working as a tutor and as a mentor in the department I teach in, education, and Catherine is also working as a mentor in that department with students who are in the earlier stages. But before I get to that, Mr. Asen Mikado is a student who has yet to be on the college campus because he started during the fall and we were already offline in the world of a pandemic. So, Asen, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. My name is good afternoon, guys. My name is Ison Mercado. Um, I have most of the stuff I can say about online learning is just all good stuff. I was blessed enough to get a lot of help from Powers. Um, he's the main reason why I'm still doing so good in my second semester. Um, what I liked a lot about it was I was in control of my schedule. If I missed a class, a lot of teachers would record it and post it in Blackboard, which was helpful. Um, there was no information that I would have missed. I was able to have good classmates that were communicating with me a lot through our WhatsApp groups. Um, I didn't have to travel to school, which is another good thing for me. Traveling is tough with a lot of the buses and trains. Um, and yeah, uh, a lot of my work was um, I was in control of when I wanted to submit it, uh, and I was able to manage my time a lot how I wanted to. So that's what I liked a lot about um, online learning, and I hope to continue staying in online learning. I prefer it more. So yeah.
Okay. And to more or less, and thank you, uh, Asen or
Mhm.
Asen, whatever it is you go by, because I get tired of trying to pronounce your name properly. Um, for next semester, and this can be for all four of you, CUNY has more or less shifted from being we'll be back a little bit in person to we're going to be back more than half in person, and none of us really know what that means at the moment. Um, but if classes were to shift, let's say you guys are registered for the fall and you have online classes, and all of a sudden these are now going to be in person classes, is that a positive or a negative for you? And you can just jump in and answer.
Um, I'd say it's to be honest, it would probably it be because I like to be in control of my time and my time management, probably a bit of a negative. Um, I just like online learning so much. About I like how I'm so in control of my time, um, how supportive the teachers were, um, how supportive my advisors were, and how cooperative my classmates were. I feel like it would be better for me to stay in online, but honestly, I don't have an issue with going in person because interacting with teachers and students is also important. Getting hands-on and gaining knowledge in person is also important.
And I think that I will stay online as well, most likely, because I saw a big improvement compared to online and in person. So I mean, even though I do like going in person, but I felt like online really like affected me in a positive way. So I'll probably stay online.
Thank you, Angel. Catherine or Jose?
Same with me. Online is just so much better. I saw a huge positive impact on my grade, and I would love to stay online.
Okay, Jose?
Uh, I don't know. I got to get out the house, so I'd pick.
Well, that's what your mother keeps telling you, dude. I don't know if you know that.
I'd go back to face to face. I just think it's different, especially for if I'm gonna teach. So
Catherine and or Jose, you guys are both mentors slash tutors. How has that been in a digital remote setting?
it's been great for me. I feel like.
Yeah, but I really don't care about you. I care about the students you're supposed to be working with. How has it worked out for them?
I think it works well too, as well. I think there's more of a, like a community, we're all working to, like, I don't know, face to face. I feel like, people stop by and then come every so often. Where we live in, like, this fast technological world where, you shoot an email, things are done. So I feel like, that helps the students in a way. I'm able to answer if somebody's emailing me at 2:30 in the morning because they forgot or they're busy or whatever the case, and I'm up, and I'm able to help them, whatever. If the assignment is due at that time or a certain time, I'm able to help them right there on the spot. I don't have to wait until Monday to reach out, or if they miss the assignment, I have to wait till Wednesday because they have work Monday and Tuesday. It's more of a freedom, so the students, are able to be successful.
Catherine?
For me, I had a way different experience. So I believe in person, as being a mentor, I believe if it was in person, it would have been so much easier for the students as well as for me, because the students, they'll book appointments with me and don't show up, or I will email them and they would never respond until 2 o'clock in the morning. They're texting me or they're emailing me, hey, I need help, and I'm in my bed. So I think in person would have been way better.
Okay. Um, Aisha has put a comment into the chat, and anyone who wants to flip on their mic at this point, I don't know how much more time we will have, but please feel free to ask these young men and women whatever questions you may have. And good afternoon, Professor Dean. The idea that we should be talking to students, to me, is like not exactly heavy lifting or rocket science. But a lot of the changes we're getting are coming very much top down. And whether it's a mayor or a governor or a CUNY or a SUNY system or a president or a provost or whatever, we really, I believe, need to listen to what the students are saying to the best of our ability and adapt to what they need, what is their best experience. And please trust these, and it's a very small sample for really solid, young, intelligent students. Um, but students who had struggled in person and did do better online. And it was purely random on my part. I actually sent out a text to about 6 people. And these were the first 4 who responded. The other 2, because we only had 30 minutes, I told they couldn't participate. But I promised them next time we have a pandemic, they'll be allowed to. But I could have gotten lots of other students who all have very different experiences. So I think we need to see both sides. We know a lot of students have dropped out. We know enrollment is down at most of the CUNY campuses, but we also know that a lot of students have lives outside of CUNY. And this has, I think, as Catherine put in and as Ison put in, really allowed them to work without the hassle of the commute, the buses and the trains and the walking. Um, For Angel, he spent the fall semester in DR at a baseball camp. So, Catherine, there's a question in the chat. If you don't have the chat open, I will just read it. Do you feel you can still perform at the level of an A student if you have to go back to the in-person format for your future studies? And I would just throw in, Catherine will be graduating BCC in June and moving over to City College where she has been accepted. So, Catherine, what do you think about leaving the remote world and going to the in-person world at City?
I will never do 6 classes in person. The most is 3 classes at the most, 3. That's therefore I know I get to manage myself, manage my schoolwork, and manage my time management because I have to look into. I come from Mount Vernon, so Mount Vernon and going all the way downtown is quite far. So definitely not 6 classes. 3 is my limit. I know my limit, so 3 is my limit.
Thank you. To my students from Mr. Castellano over at Lehman, did any of you guys have technical difficulties, Wi-Fi, laptop, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, or using different pieces of software?
Welcome, Matt.
Thank you so much, Carlos. I'm incredibly honored.
And the only way I got out of the main address was to close. I left the session. I had originally kept it open on another browser, but I closed it. So I am guessing we're all going to be forced back. I can, on behalf of the students, pretty well answer since I speak to all of them most of the time. Outside of the occasional Wi-Fi connections from home, I don't think there was that much of a problem. BCC was really very good about getting laptops and hotspots out to people. So I would think they were all pretty good, but I do know, and I won't go through horror stories, there were definitely a lot of issues for a lot of students. Angel actually did, like I said, he was in the Dominican Republic for the entire fall semester. He came back to New York in December. And again, apart from spotty Wi-Fi, he was able to. So I thank you all for attending. I'm going to stop. I'm going to leave the session and go back. Matt Gold is doing a keynote. So I thank you. And, oh, okay. But I thank you. And I think we're done. So Jose and Catherine and Ison and Angel, thank you very much. Thank you to the folks who have joined us, and have a very good
Thank you
day
for
and
having
stay
me.
safe.
Have a good one.